Woo! Keymoe came in with the fire when it comes to fuck that. Yes, we can say that on the radio. I'm your host, Chrisella. We got Keymoe right now on the phone. What's up, Keymoe?
What's up? What's up?
Thank you so much for being here on 514 Online Mix Radio. I'm
And thank you
so
for having me.
I'm so glad to have you, man. I'm so glad to have you. Even though you kill it on the beats, you are definitely a humble guy.
Yes, I am.
Like, I'm telling you, I just have to let everybody know how humble you are. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. Your
Thank you.
song, fuck that. You went so hard in it. You went so hard in it. Made me feel like someone pissed you off. You even got some Spanish words going on in that song. Is that correct?
No, no, not on that one though.
Not on that one. Okay, so which song? Which song you got some Spanish words on your song? Tell me, please.
Uh, it was my time of fame.
My time of fame. My time of fame.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't hear that particular song yet, but before we do, can you please tell me about fuck that before you get into my time of fame?
Okay, so technically, fuck that was supposed to be for a competition in a group chat we had.
Ooh.
Me and a couple of rappers with an engineer, right?
Yes, yes.
So I was the one who came up with the first song. I released it, and the whole point was the first one to release a banger wins, pretty much.
Nice, nice.
So
You
yeah,
definitely released a
it was just
banger.
a friendly competition, though.
You definitely released a banger.
Thank you, thank you.
Regardless
I
of
try
it,
hard.
you did. Regardless of it being a friendly competition or not, you went in that song. So please, I didn't hear that song. My time of fame. Is that correct? I got the right name of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please tell me about that track because I want to dive into that a little bit later. Hopefully, if it's out, we can play that too on the radio, Keymoe.
Okay. Yes. My time of fame. It was literally just me talking pure garbage. It was just me going off for like 45 seconds.
Oh my gosh, you made me laugh. But you know what? Right now, we got fuck that. I want people to listen to that just a little bit more so they can enjoy that a little bit longer. Just excuse all the listeners right now. We had the echo on. Sorry about that, y'all. But we turned it off. Thank you for letting us know. But we're gonna listen to fuck that a little bit longer. Keymoe, don't go anywhere. We're gonna get into your music a little bit more. This is 514 Online Mix Radio, and I am your host, Chrisella. I want y'all to listen to Fuck That by Keymoe. He is on the phone with us right now. Most said, never going down. Fuck that. Yo, I definitely relate to that song. Sometimes you just gotta let it go, and sometimes you just gotta breathe a little bit because it be crazy. It be crazy. It be crazy with that song. Keymoe, like I said, you went in that track. Tell me how. Tell me how you went in that track. What must you have before making your music? What must you do before getting into that mind frame? Because you are a humble guy, but you released the dragons when it came to that track. So please tell me, what must you have when it comes to rapping in the studio?
Well, technically, me, what I do is it's when I get inspired, I write. Mostly, I get inspired when I smoke weed or drink, and it just comes to me. I listen to a beat, I vibe to it, something clicks in the beat, and I just go at it.
Man, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Cause you got some songs that really go deep, and ain't nothing wrong with smoking a little, drinking a little. But do you also drink for the pain to go away? Because I see that you got a few tracks that really go deep with your stories. Do you see a lot of pain also in your life sometimes?
Yeah, well, I got my ups and downs like everybody else, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because we're going to get into a song called Lost Ghetto Girls Story. You seem like you also snapped in that track, like something was bothering you with a situation. Is the song Lost Ghetto Girls Story, is that coming from a real experience?
Well, in a way, yes, it's because I was living with a guy who was pimping his girlfriend. But you know what? The thing is, when there is love in the situation, he can't really say much, right?
That's what's up.
So, like, I kind of felt the need to take that out. You know what I mean? Talk about it. So I put that on the song. You know.
So for the people who didn't hear that track just yet, we're gonna listen to it on the radio. But for the people who didn't listen to it and who are tuning in, and first of all, thank you everyone who are tuning in right now. But let's just let the people know who don't know. Were you speaking to the pimp, or were you speaking to the victim who was being pimped when it came to that song?
The victim,
The
the
victim.
girl.
Wow.
It's like if I would put myself in front of her and talk to her and be like, "Yo, what's going on? What are you doing?" You know?
Mm. And you know
Right.
what? Like I said, you were in on that song. Let's let the listeners listen to that track a little bit more before we get into more of Keymoe. This is 514 Online Mix. We're keeping you entertained. We got artists with the stories on this radio. I also called Keymoe. All right, Keymoe, we're gonna listen to that. All right, we back with Keymoe. Y'all just heard They Be Hating for Real. Like I said, we have a Lost Ghetto Girl story coming up next for y'all. Keymoe. They Be Hating for Real. Can you tell us what was going on in your head when you made that track?
Well, I was working in a warehouse, and it was pretty messed up because the guy was racist, and like there was a manager too. He was a bit of handicapped. I don't like saying that word, but he was a little handicapped, and like I made a mistake, and he called me a dirty Arab, right?
Oh my God.
But I didn't really. I heard it, but I kind of ignored it. So then other people came to tell me and all that. So I just grabbed my stuff and I left that place. And every time I work in a warehouse, man, it's just shitty.
I hear you. I hear you,
So
man.
yeah, that's what inspired me.
Wow, I can really hear where you're coming from. You know what? I really respect those artists who put their experiences in their tracks. It makes it so much more real. Big up to you for sticking up to the guy who had a disability too as well. Shout out to you for doing that, because you know what? It ain't easy, especially at a job. You know, we trying to get paid. Everybody trying to get paid. But Keymoe, you actually don't strike me, like you said in your track, you don't strike me actually as a guy who likes working for others. It seems like you want to work for yourself, like everybody else, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much. I would love to have my own business or own my own studio, things like that. Like it's really like a part of me. Like I really like doing this. You know what I mean?
Do you see yourself in a few years just working on your music? Do you think with Montreal's love we can actually get to that, making our artists work for themselves when it comes to just in a few years, not like a decade? What do you think, Keymoe?
Most definitely, if we all put our heads together and put all the differences aside and all that, for sure, this city has a lot of potential. I mean, personally, I listen to a lot of artists, and I mean, shout out to Purge Night, shout out to RB Beats, my my engineer,
Yes,
and
yes.
shout out to Holden, because if
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't for Holden, a lot of Montreal artists I wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that's not the first time someone said that on 514 Online Mix. Big shout out to Holden. He's interviewing a whole bunch of artists that people do not know, and networking them with each other. I always respect people who do that on their grind. Shout out to all the platforms out there. You know, it's not easy doing what they do, but they doing it, and they doing it with consistency. So big shout out to BTS, DMS. There's so many more out there doing their thing. End of the week, I can keep going, but Keymoe, like I said, you are definitely a humble guy, and you do not forget where you're coming from. And I can tell you do not forget where the people are pretty much, you don't forget the people who are supporting you.
Yes, no doubt. I mean, I support people who support me. I show love to people who support me, and you know what I mean. I give criticism to people that that give me criticism and wants to help me move. You know what I mean?
I see that. I see that. I see that. And like I said, I called you a king. I'm trying to make sure my brothers and sisters know, my siblings know that instead of using a different term to call my brothers, and I know you know what I'm talking about, I like to use the word king, especially when you put in that work in your art, whatever you do. If I see you putting in that work and making it like making it in a respectable way, I call you a king. Whether your grind is, as long as you're putting your all into it, and I see Keymoe, you're one of them who puts their all in their music, and I called you a king.
Thank you. And I called you a queen because you're the queen of the radio.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, we do it for the artists, so I really appreciate that. You said that you didn't actually expect me calling you that because you didn't hear that so often. So I want you to know that you're gonna get used to hearing that, especially in Montreal, because we're gonna be shouting out our artists and giving them their flowers now. So King, we gonna listen to another one of your tracks, and we're gonna make sure they know where they can find you on social media. So if you're listening on 514 Online Mix Radio and you're from Montreal, shout out to you. Shout out to everyone in Canada who are listening right now. We got Keymoe with us, and we got more of his tracks coming your way. What's up, y'all, on 514 Online Mix. Like I said, this is your host, Chris Sella. Make sure you check out Flyga's song, Too Many, and also check out Girl Being Clothing, straight from Karen's Closet. We got Keymoe live on air with us right now. What's up, Keymoe?
What's up? What's up?
Yes. I want you to tell everyone where they can find you on social media. Tell everybody what's your name on social media, where they can find you. Let's go.
So basically, my Snapchat is Keymoe MTL504, as in Kimo MTL504. Everything else, it's Keymoe, the key to more greatness. You just write Keymoe on Google or any streaming platform, you'll find me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us know. You got some future projects that I actually heard about as well. But can you tell us some collaborations you are going to be doing in your next projects? If you can tell us some artists that you'll be working with, that will be sick. If not, no worries. I know how it goes.
Well, for one, I know me and CB Mac got some heavy bangers kicking in.
Nice.
He's on two of my tracks so far. And I'm doing a remix for Scribble's album.
Nice.
Because with, what's his name, Joker? The Joker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be for promoting Scribble's album. And right now I'm just going with the flow. I mean, I know I'm going to have Purge Benny at a certain point in my tracks. Yeah, because we started a thing called Purge Night Music.
Yes.
So we're like a group, me, him, and my engineer.
So can you tell us, Joker, is that Joker from the States?
Yeah, the Joker is from the States.
From Pop-Up Show, that guy? No way.
Not sure from the pop-up show, but I know he had a thing or two with Tech Knight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dude.
Okay. All right. All right. So can you tell us about The Purge? What is that going on right now? What you got going on with that right now?
Right now is just, I mean, I'm going to be working on my album. Bridge Betty is going to be on a couple of my tracks for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, right now I'm just going with the flow, right?
That's it. That's what you gotta do as an artist. Keep it consistent like you've been doing. Shout out to you, Keymoe, for rocking with us on 514 Online Mix. Before we go, we're gonna end off with your song Mumble Massacre. Another song you went and you put a lot of, strength in your songs. I feel your vocal cords moving. And what made you also go off on this track, Mumble Massacre? We are asking Keymoe why he's been going off on his tracks. He's been giving us steady, steady, steady stories that I love so far. I can't wait to hear more of his tracks. But Keymoe, please tell us about Mumble Massacre.
Well, technically, I mean, I just went off. I mean, somebody told me, "Nah, you can't do it," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," so I just lost it. And I went on the beat. I met Scribble on Facebook. He told me he was done with the track, and it went from there. And
That is funny. That is funny. That's one of the worst things you can do to one of your competitors, rivals, enemies, you name it. If you tell somebody, especially who's competitive, you can't do it, watch them go off. Watch them go off. Actually, you know what? If you do that to somebody you like, you actually benefiting them too. Because honestly, haters make some people move in a different way.
exactly. And
Yes.
I mean, I try to give out as much love and good criticism as possible because that's what I like receiving back.
I see you.
It's I believe in karma, so I mean, whatever you do that's right, you'll get right back. Whatever you do that's wrong, I mean, it's gonna shit back on you.
That is true. That is true. Keymoe, anytime you have another track coming out, please send it to us. We love your music. I love hearing your stories in your tracks as well. It just makes me, blow off some steam by listening to you. Once again, shout out to you for being here with us.
Thank you. Shout out to you, and shout out to all 504 Online Mix for you guys having me.
Awesome.
It's
Awesome.
a mega pleasure.
And you know what? For those who are just tuning in right now, if you missed it, don't worry. Our podcast is coming out, and Keymoe's interview will be the first interview for our podcast from our radio station. So this is a big, big, big day for us because we're going to be starting our podcast with our first radio station interview that's going to be recorded from yours truly, Chrisella. So this is a really, really amazing thing, Keymoe, that you're gonna be the first interview for our podcast. So please stay tuned for that. This time you don't have to worry, Keymoe. We got it recorded just for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And I want to give one last shout out to Willie Scandals.
Yes, sir.
Bro, you are amazing. Every time I throw music, he puts it on his live, whether I'm there or not. Man, good. I love the support.
That's it. Montreal is definitely making some noise. I think you can definitely agree with that, Keymoe, that we are making noise. Sure. I'm telling you, we are gonna basically be the reason why our artists are flourishing. We are the reason that our artists are flourishing. All of us in Montreal, we have the power to choose which artists that make it, and let's choose the artists from Montreal. Once again, we got Keymoe from Montreal, so make sure you support him, make sure you show him some love, and make sure you listen to the interview if you're just tuning in. And if you missed it, we're gonna have it on our podcast. So tune into 514 Online Mix on Facebook, and we'll tell you where to find the podcast. Much love, Keymoe, for being here. Thank you so much, brother.
And thank you for having me.
Once again, you are a king. Never forget it. I already know you don't. Can't wait to hear more tracks. Send them our way. We got your back on 514 Online Mix. We just got blessed. We just got blessed with the voice from Keymoe on the radio.